What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Week 16 at Hit the Books. Here we are, Week 16 in the NFL. We have obviously the NBA Cup wrapped up this week. A lot going on in the NHL, college basketball world as well, and then MLB free agency is still underway with a lot of these big signings and big moves that we've had. Me, Ace, and Mackie here today. No Jesse. Ace, I'll hand things off over to you. How are we doing heading into Week 16 in the NFL?
Yeah, we're close to the end of the audition for my Patriots coaching staff and Drake May, so not too mad about that, but a lot of other great stuff happening in the football world. Like you said, the most prestigious award you can win in all of sports, the NBA Cup, just wrapped up. No, I'm just messing with you. Maybe it's nice for those guys at the bottom of the roster to get 500K, but yeah, a lot of other stuff heating up. MLB free agency, the NHL is rolling along. My Bruins are getting back to form, so ready to get going on another week here.
Mackie?
Yeah, like I said, Darvin Ham stays undefeated in the NBA Cup. Bucks win that, so probably the only thing they'll win this year. So good for them. But yeah, not much else going on. College basketball had a pretty rough weekend. First losing day in a while. We dropped another unit yesterday, but still plus over 6 units, I think, still on the season. So not much to worry about. And NFL just moseying along. Week 16, getting to the end.
How far away are we from the college football playoffs?
This Friday.
That's awesome. I'm hyped for that, actually.
Yeah.
My
We used to have to
bracket
wait
just
till
dropped.
New Year's. We used to have to wait for New Year's, all the
Yeah,
New Year's
yeah.
bowls. Now there's so many games. It starts on Friday with Indiana and Notre Dame.
That'll be good. When I saw
But
those Notre Dame jerseys, they look pretty tough.
yeah, I saw that leak too. They might be wearing the black ones. But we'll start out in the NBA. Like we said, Milwaukee Bucks defeat Oklahoma City on Tuesday to win the 2024 NBA Cup in Vegas. I've noticed, at least from the start of the season, the Bucks obviously we had a lot of question marks going around. Doc Rivers, are they contenders? What is that team this year? They obviously had some injury issues, but Dame and Giannis kind of have stepped up over the past couple of weeks. Ace, you both have teams in the East kind of sitting there right up at the top as contenders. Are either of you scared to see the Bucks in the playoffs?
I really think that's the best team besides the Celtics in the East. I know the Cavs are playing great, and the Knicks really put together a great squad. But I said it at the beginning of this season, before it started. We saw a lot of downfalls with that Bucks team last year. They're pretty injured. It takes a while for things to come together. We saw Matt Stafford and the Rams win it right away. We've seen LeBron go and win stuff. But like sometimes it takes a while for these superstars to gel, find the right mix. And I think that this Dame and Giannis duo, along with the other pieces they have, is one that's very scary when you look at the rest of the field. So, Mackie, what are you thinking about this Bucks team contending with the rest of the East?
Yeah, I think that they're the second scariest team. I don't think they're the second best team. I think that when you look at teams head to toe, I think the Knicks definitely have the second best roster in the East. But when it comes down to it, if you get Giannis and Dame rolling the way that they are right now, and it come in the playoffs, probably definitely a little scarier than the Knicks. But they're hot right now. They're playing really good basketball. Giannis looked unstoppable last night. He's looked pretty unstoppable the last few games. So not a player you want to run into at his best. And when the team's all clicking, Chris Middleton being back is huge for them as well. What'd you say? Yeah, dude, he's so good. He's so underrated too.
Him being out last year was one of the big downfalls of that team.
Yeah, huge for sure. Yeah, like I said, I think that they're definitely second scariest team in the East when fully healthy. But I'd still take that Knicks roster over them just because of goes a little deeper. Yeah, but I mean Giannis at his best. I think he's the best in the world.
Giannis and Jokic, when those two get going,
Yeah,
they're some of the
yeah,
toughest guys to stop. I mean, it's nice to see Giannis too. He's one of those guys you can't really hate. He's just such a good personality. I don't know if you guys saw that quote. He's like, "Oh, we got you that new house," to one of those swing guys. I don't know his name. I saw it. Was it Liam something? One of the young guys on the Bucks roster.
I don't know.
Player.
I saw the clip where Giannis said, that's life-changing money. That's a down payment on a house. And someone was like, what kind of house are you getting with a $500,000 down payment?
No, literally though. He I think there's one guy on the Bucks that went and bought his first home because of that bonus that they were able to get.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. But yeah, we'll get into our power rankings in the NBA. No Milwaukee in this top 5, but they're definitely trending that way. Knicks at 5. Mavericks make their reappearance back at 4. Cleveland at 3. Oklahoma City up to 2. And the Celtics at 1. I thought Oklahoma City was going to win that NBA Cup. That team is very fun to watch. They're still without what's his name?
Chet.
Right? Yeah, without Chet.
Yeah, I think he's still a few weeks away. He got a tough injury, but he'll be back when it matters.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's my fun team to watch this year. I love watching them play. They don't play too late. They usually get like a nice 9:00 TNT game. And obviously they're very good, so they get a lot of these national TV games this year. But Yeah, good list in the NBA.
Huff, you're itching to get those Rockets. Who's the other team
Dude,
that's
they're
sitting there?
good.
There's another team that you were itching to get in there too, but I
The
got this
Grizzlies,
little
they've been
bug in
good
the
too. I like
Grizz.
Ja.
Yeah, I mean, until they break out the guns, he's pretty good. But I got this little bug in my ear named Mackie that always gasses up these Knicks, and I buy into it, so I threw him in my top 5. Mackie did too, so they reign supreme for one more week
You
at least.
love Cat in New York.
Yeah, he's a dog. I mean, I love when good teams like mine feast on him too because he's soft when it comes to the pressure, but he's doing great there, and it was a great scheme fit too, so
Yeah, we
um,
saw him fall apart last year in Minnesota in the playoffs.
it's always what happens. He's just too soft. I've seen him get bullied by a lot of people, but he's a great player nonetheless. So that team will definitely stick around and always be around that top 5 mark.
Absolutely. And then we'll touch on our top 5 power rankings in the NHL real quick. That's all we have to hit on over there. Number 5, the Devils. Number 4, Capitals. Number 3, the Golden Knights. Number 2, Winnipeg Jets. And number 1, still the Minnesota Wild. What do you guys have to say about our top 5 in the NHL?
We got to respect the Wild till they fall off, but are they the scariest team to see? I don't think so. Are they even a top 3 scariest team in the West? Probably not. I think those Winnipeg Jets, those Dallas Stars, and there's a handful of other teams, the Vegas Golden Knights, even the Oilers when they're playing their best hockey. I know that the Avalanche have goaltending woes and they have some issues in their depth. They just addressed it by making some good moves in the net. Mackie, I don't know what you think about those. Who'd they bring in? I believe Mackenzie Blackwood. Did they also bring in Wedgwood as well?
Who?
The Colorado Avalanche.
No, who they flop with out
San Jose. They brought in
San
Blackwood
Jose.
and they shipped out the terrible
Georgiev.
Georgia. Yeah, he's
Georgiev, yeah.
terrible.
I saw that. I don't know about Wedgwood. That'd be weird.
I think they got him as well.
They already played together in Jersey, and now they're gonna go play together in Colorado.
Not a bad duo though. I mean, that was the big thing holding that team back, and they're getting the full strength. I mean, they can put pucks in that with Rotten and McCarr and McKinnon. But I think the big story in the NHL now, Mackie, is how do you feel about your New York Rangers sub 500 now, dropping 2 games to the
No,
worst teams in
they're
the league?
500.
Oh, are they exactly
Yeah, they're
500?
500.
Yeah, what are we thinking? They just paid Rick DiPietro. I mean, Igor Shesterkin. So how do we feel about this team?
I'll say one thing. It's not Igor. I mean, granted, he's not playing his best hockey, but I mean,
He's solid.
you watch some of these goals, and you're like, what is he supposed to do about it? No one's playing. I mean, we scratched Kako the other day. I don't think that was the right move. Kako definitely let them know that
Yep.
he's frustrated about it because I mean, we have all these top vet guys who are out there moseying along doing absolutely nothing. Mika's bottom 5 in the league on plus minus. I think I saw, which is
Embarrassing.
insane, dude. He's supposed to be like one of the top
Damn,
centers in the league.
I didn't realize you guys slid that far.
Dude,
Oh,
we were
they've been
12
bad.
we were 12-4-1.
We have 2 more
15.
points than you. You guys have 2 games less played, but
Oh,
still.
there's
holy
life
shit.
in Pittsburgh.
What is there life in Pittsburgh, or is there?
I don't
New York
think
is
so,
down
but-
the drain, dude.
I don't think so, but you guys are a way better team. You're just in like a major lull.
Kreider doing absolutely nothing. Mika doing
Penguins have
absolutely
looked better
nothing.
the past few weeks. I
Mackie,
don't want to
let me tell you this though. What is going to right the ship? Because you shipped out your captain. I thought that was a demoralizing move. I know it was the right move the way he was playing.
No.
But I know it was the right move, but you could tell that there's locker room turmoil and issues when big names like that are going out the door. Top guys who are perennial all-stars, 4 nations players, not playing even close to their potential. Young guys getting frustrated now, and the goalie who just got paid getting no help. I mean, what's it going to take to right the ship there? Is it a coaching change?
It might take a coaching change. It might take Laviolette getting out of there. And I liked Laviolette up to this point, but I think he's made a few, with all this adversity he's dealing with, I think he's not handling it the best. I think he needs to really get under Kreider and Zibanejad's skin because I think those are the 2 guys that this kind of revolves around. Panarin's doing everything he can. He's injured right now, but he's only been injured like a few games. Trocheck, he's a point per game player, not really playing like it, but he's not the worst guy out there. You have these young guys. I think Kako's been playing well. He shouldn't have gotten scratched. Laffy looks good. It just comes back to those 2 guys, and they're just not getting
him saying what he said after getting scratched isn't a good.
Because
look.
I'm young. It's
Is it
because
what?
I'm young.
I don't think that's a good look. Like,
Oh
when
my
the
God, dude!
players,
No, I think that's the best thing they could have said. I think he's calling him out. He's saying,
no, I'm
"Fuck
saying, yeah, that's not a good look for the coach. That's I like him saying it.
I love,
Yeah,
dude. I
agree.
love that he said that because, like, fuck you. He's not the one playing bad. He's fucking 24 years old. You have these guys making $8 million, $9 million a year who aren't putting up even a point.
Yeah,
in like 10
the third
games.
line's being relevant too. They're putting up points every game.
Cooley looks good as well. I mean, dude, Lindgren is just fucking terrible. He's still sitting on the first line with Fox on defense. The coaching changes being made are just not the ones that need to be made. And he needs. I think a coaching change is.
I mean, you saw it happen in
is
Boston.
needed.
We had a great coach, Jim Montgomery, won Coach of the Year a few years ago. Great record. And we were quick to cut the cord there, and it's worked out well. Our month of December has been on insane. The team's starting to click. The top stars are starting to find their game, and we're starting to win hockey games and become more relevant in standings.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely pure panic mode at this point for Rangers. They can't do anything. They lost to two of the worst teams in the league in the last 3 games. So, hopefully something switches soon. Hopefully,
The holidays might
I don't
save
want to
you.
say hopefully Laviolette's fired, but maybe it's what we need. Maybe it'll turn the ship. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's bad right now.
outside of New York, couple more quick plugs I want to throw out there. Macklin Celebrini, I don't know if you guys have been watching, but he is
Dog.
on fire. I love watching him play. I got him on my fantasy team. He's up to, I think, over 20, 25 points now. He's first star of the week or top star of the week lately. Just so fun to watch. On top of that, you know who's been great in his little resurgence ever since coming off of injury has been Patrick Laine. Put up a hat trick last night all on the power play.
You
Good to
see that
see
one T
good things.
snipe?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was sending that everywhere. I got him in fantasy too.
Dirty,
You
dude.
want to know a little stack I got
Dirty.
riding right now? Patrick Laine, Cole Caulfield, and Lane Hudson. They all put up like combined 8 points last night.
What, the only three good guys on Montreal? You have them all.
Literally. And they're all on the ice the whole time in all the prime situation. Lane Hudson, I think, leading rookie defenseman in scoring. Number 3 in overall rookie scoring behind Michkov and Celebrini. So, I mean, Marty St. Louis got him going right there. I think that roster's just brutal, bad goaltending. But it's nice to see some of these young guys and familiar faces starting to bounce back in the league.
Absolutely. I don't got anything else in the NHL. We can jump over to, like we said, the college football playoff getting underway this Friday with the first game. Let me see, Indiana at Notre Dame. So like I said, that game will take place in South Bend. There's a home game for Notre Dame, as these first 4 games are. So Indiana at Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a 7.5-point favorite. Over under at 52.5. Notre Dame money line is minus 275, and Indiana at plus 225 on the road here. This is a rivalry game. I do think it'll be close. I don't love the 7.5 for Notre Dame. I do think they get the job done and win the game. These spreads are going to be tough. I'd probably lean. I like Notre Dame at 7. I don't like them at 7.5. I'm going to lean on Notre Dame probably just to get the job done on a money line. Mackie, I don't know about you, which way you're going on this in-state rivalry with Indiana heading to Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think it's a scenario where Notre Dame kind of blows them out the water, or Indiana gets the job done and wins this football game. I think Indiana, they beat themselves against Ohio State. They played them real tight in the first half. A lot of really quick miscues in the second half that kind of let it get away from them. But they're a good team. They're just a little inexperienced. They don't play the schedule that everyone else plays, and I mean, in that sense, Notre Dame doesn't really either. But Notre Dame's a little more proven. I like this Notre Dame team. I think that they get the job done. I think that they can get through Georgia as well. But it's definitely no easy first task, and I think it'll be a good game.
Isn't this Notre Dame team kind of known, not this Notre Dame team, but Notre Dame itself, known for kind of flopping in big game scenarios?
Well, that's the
Yeah,
thing,
but
is that they're independent and they don't play the strength of schedule as everybody else, but they're Notre Dame and they always have
I'm
those
big.
big
I'm big
games.
on this Notre Dame team. I think they could, if they win this game. I'm interested to see that line to be set for them against Georgia.
I
But they
also
have
Notre
the
Dame's.
they have the potential to be like one of the world beaters and make a good run, but they also have
Uh,
the
they,
potential to flop, right?
I also, yeah. If they beat if they beat Georgia, obviously they're going to get past Indiana. But if they beat Georgia and get to the semifinals, I'd pick them over Penn State, and I'd have
uh,
Notre Dame. If Notre Dame beats Georgia, I have them in the national title game. Whoever wins that game, I have beaten Penn State. But
What are we going to be seeing in this game though? Like, what's the story with these two teams as a mid level college football
Mackie,
fan?
what's a running back for Notre Dame? Love.
yeah, I think that's his name.
Bryce Love, I want to say his
Dude.
name. I forget his first name. Notre Dame's going to try to run the ball down Indiana's throat. They've been just pesky. One of those teams that teams haven't been able to put away. We saw them play up against Michigan a couple of weeks ago. It looked like they were going to slip that one up before they lost to Ohio State, but we saw them go up against a good Ohio State team in Columbus, and Ohio State handled business. I think it's a similar situation here. That place at Notre Dame is going to be rocking. Those fans obviously get up for these big games. They haven't had a home game. None of these schools have had a home playoff game. So I think a lot of these home atmospheres are going to be very hard to go into. I'm going to take Notre Dame. I'll take a -7. I think the money line's even safer if you want to find another leg you like. You can get it around probably even money there or close to it. But I think Notre Dame's just too much for Indiana to handle. I think they had a good season. I think they're building on something over there, but I don't think it's going to happen on Friday night.
Jeremiah Love, by the way, that's his name.
Jeremiah Love, that's it. But our next game, first game on Saturday, SMU heading to Happy Valley to take on Penn State. Penn State is an 8.5-point favorite. Over under at 54.5. Penn State money line is minus 350, and SMU to win is plus 260. I think Penn State gets the job done here, minus the 8.5 points. I think their defense is just going to be a little too much. Penn State has had struggles scoring on offensive side of the ball. SMU, they're, like I said, they're another one of these pesky teams, kind of similar to Indiana, that they've hung around all year. They easily could have won that ACC championship over Clemson and have a bye, or not have a bye this week, but or no, they did win
Yeah,
the.
they would have it. They would
They
have
would.
it. No, they
I was gonna
lost.
say they would, but
They lost in a
yeah,
game-winning field goal.
that's what I thought. Yeah,
After
so
a miraculous comeback.
I was gonna say they easily could have won that game. I was confusing it with another game here. I just think Penn State's that atmosphere is going to be too much.
Yeah,
The
that's gonna be
whiteout in
wild
Happy
there,
Valley.
huh?
Give me the under 54 as well. I don't think Penn State runs away with it, but I think they do. SMU does struggle to score some points. Give me Penn State maybe 31-14.
Mackie, before you give your take here, with that atmosphere you're talking about, we always know about Penn State in the regular season. In a playoff game, Huff, isn't there a little bit of snow projected too? And this SMU team traveling up from the south, it's going to be a whole different game for them. I think there's a chance for a tough showing by them, even though Mackie has a different take on this one.
I love SMU in this game, and not just because James Franklin loses these games historically. I think SMU is a lot better than what people are telling them. I know they don't have the best schedule. They're in the ACC, but they didn't play a very good schedule. We saw it against Clemson. They came out really slow. I think they were like shocked to even like be in that scenario. And once they kind of realized, like, all right, we're here, we're playing, they were already down 20 something points. Second half, they came out, they showed their colors. They have a really good offense, really high flying offense, big play reliant. And going up against a defense like this might be a little tough, but I think they'll figure it out, especially in a snow game where you're going to see a lot of miscues and you're going to see a lot of mistakes happen. This is exactly what they need. They need a game where you're going to see blown coverages and miss like wide open passes by Penn State. I'm not high on Drew Aller as well. I mean, everyone's high on him in the last 2 weeks. I don't know what they saw the last two and a half, 3 years because he hasn't been him at all. But I think SMU has a lot better chance than people are giving them. I think that their offense is going to get going earlier than later, like it did against Clemson. And Clemson has a pretty good defense as well. So for them to go out in the second half and just hang like 28 points in them in the second half is pretty it's pretty impressive. So I like this team. I like the value on them here. I don't like Penn State. I've never liked Penn State, so might be a little biased here, but give me SMU for the upset.
Our next game here, Clemson at Texas. Texas a 12-point favorite, over under 51.5. Texas money line is minus 450. Clemson plus 350 here. I could care less if Texas covers this spread. Just please win the game.
Yeah, I think it's closer than people think. I do think Texas will win this football game. If they lose it, they're losing it. They lost it themselves. They didn't get beat. They beat themselves. But Cade Klubnik, personal game for him. He's from Texas. Had a rivalry with Quinn Ewers in high school. A lot of his high school teammates are on Texas. So he's probably going to have the game of his life. But I still don't know if it'll be enough.
No, Texas is probably going to put up a boatload there. That side of the bracket, though, has much harder underdogs than the other side, right?
I would say so.
Easiest.
Clemson
Penn
and
State
Tennessee.
has the easiest ride.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Penn State. I mean, they get to play SMU and then Boise State, two teams that are unproven historically.
Who wouldn't normally be anywhere near college football playoff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This last game, though, Tennessee heading to Columbus to take on Ohio State. Ohio State's a 7.5-point favorite, over under 46.5. Ohio State money line is minus 300, and Tennessee plus 240. I lean on Tennessee here plus the points. I think this is going to be the close game. I do think Ohio State might pull it out in the end. I'm going to take Tennessee plus the 7.5 to keep things close. I like Ayam Alieva, or however you say his name. I'm big on a lot of those Ohio State receivers with Tate, Smith, and Abuka, I think is how you say it. I always mess that up, but Quinshaw Junkins in the backfield. I think Ohio State wins the game. I think Tennessee keeps it respectable. I think 7.5 is a little bit too much.
I got him on the upset here, Tennessee. Is there a chance that can be done, though?
I think so.
Yeah,
If Will Howard could lose this game,
this will be the best game I think of the four, but too high of a spread. I would never take Ohio State here with the points. But it's really hard to go into the shoe and win a football game. It is. So
I just think I think they could lose this game by 4.
But Tennessee's no newcomer to a tough atmosphere.
I was just about to say they play in the SEC. They have to go to Bryant Denny. They have to go to LSU. I mean, they've played in worse atmospheres, but going up, it's going to be obviously colder in Ohio than it would be in Louisiana or Alabama. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a different atmosphere than they've ever seen. I don't know. This is a really good game. Too hard to call. I think whoever wins this game, you could see in the national championship. I'm not saying you're going to, but both teams are able to get there. But I guess I lean on Ohio State here. I'm not. I don't like a spread here though.
Yeah, I think Ohio State wins the game, but I have Ohio State in the semifinal as well. But going from college football, we'll transfer over right into the NFL with our week 16 slate. We get things started with an AFC West matchup out in LA with the Broncos going to the Chargers. Chargers are a 2.5 point favorite. Over under at 42. Chargers money line is minus 145, and the Broncos at plus 120. I have already posted a play including this game. It's a 3-team teaser. I like the under. I think 42 is a weird number. I always get fucked on that. Ended up at 43, 44. I raised it a little bit with the Steelers and with the Falcons game to go under. Getting this game at 51.5. So that is my play in this one. I'm probably not going to have anything else. Just the first leg to start off a weekend-long teaser. But Mackie, I'll hand things off over to you. Broncos at Chargers. Which way do you lean here?
I'm gonna go with the Charger. Wait, let me check
Mackey
real
loves
quick.
Justin Herbert now. That's
Yeah,
why.
you know I love Justin Herbert. Yeah, Chargers won the first game. I don't know. It's gonna be a really good game. Second time these teams are seeing each other. Did we see the Chargers get exposed last week? 40 points hung on their head by Baker Mayfield. I know Baker Mayfield's good,
Baker Mayfield's good.
but yeah, but the Chargers defense, I mean, they were best in the league going into
Yeah,
that
yeah.
game. Now they get hung for 40 points on their home field. I think you can't really overlook that. I think that's a big telling game by the Chargers going up against a pretty good team, pretty even team to them too. But the Broncos, they need one win, I think, and they're in. So
They can
um,
clinch this weekend. They're
tough
one of the
schedule.
teams that can clinch.
They play the Chiefs and the Bills, I think, left. So no easy games. Big divisional game here. These teams are really close in the standings. I guess I'll go with the Chargers here.
Yeah, Mackie, to your point about last week potentially exposing the Chargers, that one blew up a little late. And one thing that you do have to consider is, yeah, we're talking about Baker Mayfield being good, but it was really Mike Evans who took over that game. I don't know if the Broncos have a receiver. I know Cortland Sutton's good, but I don't think they have a receiver that can completely change the narrative of the game. Not too sold on their running game either. It's going to be pretty stagnant, especially with that Chargers front seven. I think on a short week, Thursday night prime time here, I expect an under in this one. I agree with your play there. Huff to raise it up as well because two of these quarterbacks can blow up. Bo Nix does it late. One thing I'm nervous about for the Broncos, though, is if you look at their recent games, their recent wins, I know they've won 3 in a row, 4 in a row, something like that. Yeah, they've won 4 in a row here. Their last 3 were against the Colts, the Browns, and the Raiders. So they haven't been tested as much as this Chargers team is bringing to the table. Harbaugh bouncing back after the loss, too. I would like to see how he responds here. A good coach on a short week going up against Sean Payton, two of the better coaches, especially in that division. The fact that it's in LA, I know it's not much of a home field advantage, but it's much better than playing at Mile High. So I'm going to give them a nod to the Chargers there. Give me the Chargers here this week to cover the spread and get the job done. I think that they're the better team. They have the better quarterback. I know Bo Nix is good, and he is in that Rookie of the Year conversation, and he's pushing really hard. But I'm going to take Justin Herbert in this spot. I think they have enough weapons too. Lad McConkey will be fully healthy. Give me that team here. I like the Chargers this week to get it done. Lad McConkey, big game, even against that top notch.
I like it. Yeah. Our next game, first game on Saturday, 2 on Saturday this week. The Texans heading to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Kansas City, a 3.5 point home favorite here. Over under 41.5. Kansas City money line is minus 190, and the Texans on the road are plus 155. Ace, get us started on this one.
Yeah, coming into the season, we would have expected a shootout between these two teams, two former playoff teams, but it's really been the defenses that have been carrying these groups the last few weeks. CJ Stroud having a questionable year. Patrick Mahomes not putting up the crazy numbers like we expect, but still being very productive. It's nice to see Travis Kelce starting to come to life as the seasons rolled along. Isaiah Pacheco's back in the mix, too. Juju Smith-Schuster, Huff's former boy, has looked really good in that offense. DeAndre Hopkins getting involved. And then, of course, Xavier Worthy there, including him as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Texans are getting going with Nico Collins back in the fold. Tank Dell's there, and Joe Mixon's questionable this week, but he's always got that Q tag, and I think he'll be a go. I'm taking the under here. I think it's going to be a defensive game, actually. I think it's going to be tough to find points in this one, especially on a Saturday. I do think the superstars eat. I expect a lot of catches from Nico Collins, a lot of yards, too. Same for Travis Kelce. I don't know if they'll turn into 6, but both of them will move the sticks early and often. So looking there for my props. But going to be a fun one to watch. Going to be a tough one to bet on. Not too sure what side I'm leaning on. Probably the Chiefs, just the way they're able to muster out these close games. That Spagnuolo-led defense. I feel like I talk about him enough, and he still doesn't get talked about. One of the best defensive coordinators in the league. That unit led by Chris Jones is playing out of their mind. That's the reason they're back-to-back Super Bowl champions. But Mackie, let me know what you think about this matchup between two probable playoff teams.
Yeah, the 3.5. I mean, they're both already clinched playoffs, so they are playoff teams. But
Oh, the Texans did clinch their division with that win
yeah,
last week,
yeah,
and the
with
Colts
the
lost.
Colts lost, clinched it
Okay.
for 'em. I'm not high on this Texans team. I think the 3.5 is gross here. You could have got the Chiefs at +2 earlier in the week. Obviously, that was because Mahomes was questionable, but he's good to go now. I think the Chiefs kind of rolled them here. I love that under 41.5. I don't think the Texans get much going on offense, but yeah, I mean 13-1 here. I mean they showed last week they finally covered a spread. I think they cover another spread this week, and I think the Texans are overrated. I don't think they're a 9-5 team. They clinched the division. They're going to be smooth sailing the rest of the way. Probably finish the season with one more win. But yeah, I like the Chiefs here. I like the under as well. Heavy under.
Huff, before you take this pick, one thing that I do want to say, because I said this last week when they started blowing out in their win, um, is this the Texans that we kind of saw last year, where nobody's high on them at all, and at the end of the season they just went on a tear and they rode that momentum to go on a pretty nice playoff run. Do you think there's a chance that happens again this season with a win this week? That would be massive.
Uh, I don't know because I don't like their chances this week. I think they lose this game. Obviously, I think they'll be the lowest division winner, being that NFC South team, whether whoever comes out of the AFC North. But I like the Chiefs here at minus the 3.5. I'm not going to take it because of how much line movement there's been on this game. I just kind of missed the value here, but I do think Kansas City gets the job done. I don't see them losing this game. The Texans' offense has been a little too inconsistent. I'm hoping Nico Collins can have a big game for me in my fantasy playoffs, but that's about all I'm hoping for out of the Texans' offense this week. But you guys said who? Kansas City, both you in the under?
Yeah.
I like it. All right. Yeah, we'll get into the second game on Saturday, 4:30 on Saturday. Steelers heading to Baltimore. Ravens are a 6-point favorite, over under at 45.5. Ravens money line is minus 275, and the Steelers to win is plus 225. I will be very honest. I don't like this spot for the Steelers. It's looking like George Pickens may not play again. TJ Watt listed as questionable. Things are not looking good over here for the Steelers. They need to win this game. The odds are stacked against them here. I'm hoping they can pull it out, but I'm not liking this spot. It's reminding me a lot of that spot going to Philadelphia last week, and they did not look good there without Pickens. The passing offense didn't look too explosive, as you could say. But I'm going to say it will go under. Like I said, this is the second leg of my teaser. I get this game at 53.5. So, yeah, I'm confident in it going under. I like it at 45.5, but I figured raise it up a little bit because obviously the Ravens have the ability to pop and score a bunch of points at any will.
Yeah, Huff, that's my scariest leg for you is that one. I feel like the way Russ played against them last time and what the Ravens do, especially at home. I know it's AFC North football, but the
We didn't
Ravens
score a
love.
touchdown last time we played him.
Oh yeah, you didn't. I'm just used to Russ actually outperforming my expectations in the prime times and whatnot. Maybe it wasn't.
This was the Boswell 6 field goals, and then Dan Orlovsky said the next day on ESPN that you can't beat the Ravens kicking field goals.
Yeah,
The day after they beat him, kicking
Yeah.
field goals.
yeah. I mean, but Russ has been outperforming my expectations. Is the point I was getting to. The thing is, I expect there to be a lot of points here. Lamar's firing on all cylinders. Only has 3 interceptions on the year, and they all should have been non-interceptions. It's crazy to think about. If he had that zero number, I mean, we'd be going crazy. But he looked like a world beater last week. I don't know how the odds are so tilted for Josh Allen to win MVP. I think it's just because he hasn't won one yet, and Lamar has too. But the stats that Lamar is putting up is insane. I mean, he's making the right decision. He's getting Mark Andrews back involved. Everybody else is firing on all cylinders. Defense, I'm not super sold on, nor with Justin Tucker. But with Lamar in the home stadium, I definitely have the Ravens to win this week and tighten up that division even more. I'm very excited to see how it plays out. But I'm scared of an under there just because it could blow up late with long touchdowns. These two teams both like to do it. I know they didn't last time, as you pointed out. But I've got the Ravens here. I think the Ravens definitely win this game, and it should be a good matchup once again.
Yeah, it's for the division. The winner of this game wins the division. I'm not sure if that's mathematically, but that is definitely what's
It
going to
basically
happen.
locks it up.
You know what's nice is both of your teams that you picked to win the AFC North is officially eliminated from winning the North.
Yeah.
Wait, who took the Browns?
No, the Bengals aren't. They can't win the North.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
take.
Yeah.
I'd rather my horse in the race than my pick be right. So
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah, I guess the Browns kind of let me down. The defense let me down. I was right about the Joe Burrow season though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a play in this game. Not gonna have a play in this game. I guess I like the under as well. Going to be one of those classic AFC North matchups. Lamar, I can't. He's too inconsistent. I mean, the games that he has where it's incredible, you're like, this guy can't be stopped. And he has games where he loses to the Raiders. I know that was the second week of the season, but he still has those games. We see him. Um, but I don't know. Ravens can't get over that hump against the Steelers. I know the Steelers are injured. Is TJ Watt playing?
he's questionable. He's probably gonna
Oh,
play.
when's the last time the Steelers?
Division on the line, he has to play.
I mean, the Steelers
If
do have
it's
a
like
good
even
record against
possible
Lamar.
though,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
and if he's pushing to play him at 80%, I mean, it's not going to be as efficient. I guess I'll go with the Ravens to get the job done. You could probably tease them down and get them at minus a half a point. They probably do win this football game.
I like him on
Um,
the money line a lot too.
I thought 5.5 was way too many points for the Steelers last week. They proved they really were never really into that game. Eagles did whatever they wanted to on offense. Yeah, I'll
If
go
I'm
with
a
the
Steelers
He
fan,
couldn't stop AJ Brown all day.
I'm so nervous about how the Steelers can produce offense without George Pickens. He's the best player on your offense. Without him, there's a lot of question marks there. How are they going to move the ball downfield? How are they going to get those big catches? You can't really rely on those guys. I think, Huff, that's why you were so adamant on them adding somebody, whether it be in the offseason or at the deadline. And they got Mike Williams, but I don't think
That's
that's
not
enough.
what we needed. Yeah.
Not enough at all. It was just something, but it was honestly nothing. I'm just nervous for the Steelers team without George Pickens in the mix. He was on his way to being a potential top 10 wide receiver in this league, and now you're saying he's out and down for the count, it seems. Very nervous about this Steelers team when there's a lot of points being asked to be put on the board.
Yeah, this next game, I don't think there will be many points. Giants at Falcons. Falcons are an 8.5-point favorite. Over under at 42 points. Falcons money line minus 450, and the Giants at plus 350. Obviously, the Falcons going with Michael Penix here.
So hype.
We didn't think they'd make the move. I said a couple weeks ago.
I called it.
Yeah, Ace. I was gonna say. I think Mackie, were you the one that's saying you didn't think they would do it?
I didn't. I thought if they were going to do it, they would have done it already. I thought it was no
Yeah.
matter what, he was sitting a year.
They're dead in the water.
That's so
7-7.
that win being so unconvincing over a bad Raiders team with a
I'm
brutal
surprised that's the
defense.
game that did it. I really am.
Yeah, it would have been a loss. So all the interceptions, right?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he's had the 3 games prior. He was way worse than he was last game.
The fact that
I'm
you
not
can't
gonna
even
lie,
move
did
the
not
ball
watch
against the
any
Raiders,
of that
though.
game. That's why I took that under in my teaser. I was like, I don't want to watch this game. It's going to be ugly, and it's exactly what it was.
They
With all the
definitely
weapons they have in the ATL, it's so surprising that he wasn't able to move the ball. And what I'm seeing too is if they cut ties with him, it's over $60 million to get rid of Kirk Cousins. If they trade him, it's like about $35 million. They shot themselves in the foot by giving him the deal that they did. I don't think they even need to pay him that much to get him there. But I'm so hyped for Michael Penix. I think he's going to be dynamite jumping into that offense.
I think he might have a tough start. I mean, I guess he gets to play the Giants, but he's going to have pressure in his face. I'm rooting for him. I'm a big Michael Penix guy. I said it before the draft and everything. I think that he was the best quarterback in college football last year. I like to see what he can do. He's got the weapons. He's got the running game going, so he's not all pressure on him. Good situation to be in for your first start in the NFL.
Let me ask the question that we never get an answer to. Is Michael Penix going to be able to get Kyle Pitts going, or is that guy just a dud?
Can we stop with the Kyle Pitts talk?
Yeah,
It's
dude.
over.
I mean,
It's over until proven otherwise.
imagine you put him on another team, though. I'd like to
No.
see. I mean,
Yeah, I
he's
just
not
think
even.
that-
He's maybe their third best skill player. Like
maybe
What-
Michael Penix can get him going, though.
What
if
is
anybody can.
what is the logic behind him not being good?
His athleticism is the only thing he has going for him. I agree. It's just embarrassing at this point. The way, even in the garbage time a couple weeks ago, I believe it was against the Vikings, he did 2 clang off his hands wide open going into the end zone. It's just like I'm just shell shocked that he hasn't turned into anything in the NFL, especially in the position he is and the mismatches he draws.
He's in Atlanta. He's too worried about those strippers they got down there.
Man, I love them strippers. Yeah. So they have a lot of other good weapons though. Drake London, Huff's boy, surprised that wasn't on the card this week. He was the only one that found the end zone for him. But even Ray McLeod and Darnell Mooney really jumping on the scene as solid secondary options in the passing game too. I think Penix will be able to be solid and he gets a good matchup. I know, like Mackie said, that pass rush for the Giants is electric. But Penix's ability to move around in the pocket might be one of the reasons they turn to him. I think they get another win this week and keep pushing the Bucs for that division. But give me the Bucs to end it with the NFC South crown.
Yes, sir.
In another divisional matchup, Detroit heading to Chicago. Chicago is a 6.5-point home underdog. over under at 48. Chicago money line is plus 240, and Detroit is minus 300. Obviously, the Lions lost Montgomery for the season. I think it was a PCL that he tore. But obviously, Lions continue to just get injured and injured. I'm going to take the under 48 in this game. I'm taking I like a lot of unders this week.
I don't like
And it
this
is
one.
scaring me. I think in Chicago, obviously one of the outdoor games for the Lions this year, they've looked a little slower on the offensive side of the ball. Give me the under 48 in this one.
You know
Oh,
what's-
the Lions?
Mm.
They just hung 42 on the Bills.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Little
that's
backdoor-
like a
little
shootout.
backdoor.
I'm talking like the last time they played the Bears on Thanksgiving
Yeah.
at home.
Yeah.
You know, it was the
Divisional
garbage.
matchup, their offenses looked kind of lulled. Obviously, that's one of those games where you're going to have to put up 6 touchdowns.
That was a weird one though. That was like Jahmyr Gibbs fumbling at the 1, the end of the game collusion, yada yada, not finding the end zone. It was a weird game for the Lions on Thanksgiving. But one thing that scares me about an under in this game is the garbage time goat that is Caleb Williams. I mean, when the game is out of reach completely, he's down 3 scores. He's like, you know what? Let me just throw 6 here. I haven't been doing it all day, but I'm going to find Keenan Allen in the end zone. They have the weapons to do it, but that's a dumpster fire of a roster. No confidence in these Bears. I feel like they're getting way too much respect against the Lions this week. I think it's a slam spot for that line. I think that money line's an automatic play. No way the Lions lose this game, even though I was calling for a Lions loss, and I knew it came at the hands of a really good team, which is expected. Those upper echelon teams, I think, can beat this Lions squad, especially the way Dan Campbell coaches. I just think that the Bears aren't going to be able to keep up. And Jahmyr Gibbs getting even more touches with Demont out is only a good thing for the Lions. Give me the Lions to score a lot of points this week and have a bounce back one after a tough loss against one of the AFC's best.
Yeah, it might be a little too late for most people, but Jahmyr Gibbs is now the best running back in fantasy football, with no Demon. I mean, obviously it's huge that they lost David Montgomery, but if you're going to lose anyone, it should be one of those running backs to really not skip a step for this Lions offense. I think Jahmyr Gibbs can carry his own. He's still one of the best running backs in the league. I guess you can call it a get right spot for the Lions here. I think they get the job done. Bears have lost 8 straight. They have nothing going for them. You can't get any offense going except for, like Ace said, when garbage time they need that 1 touchdown. But yeah, I think the Lions kind of blow them out here.
About Jahmyr Gibbs getting a full workload now. I mean, not the biggest guy,
Not at
built
all.
differently than Montgomery.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about it.
I'm happy with him getting the workload and production wise, but worried about potential injury scare. I don't know. He hasn't had that yet at the pro level.
I don't at all. I'm not worried at all.
Yeah, I
just
would.
something to monitor.
That's not what I'd be. I mean, that's not what I'd be worried about. And I think he's good enough to carry the workload. So, I think he'll be good. But what I was gonna say is, did you guys hear the Dan Campbell on that Detroit sports radio interview? And they were like, he's like, you lose one game to another team that's a top team in this league. He goes, we're on an 11-game win streak. He goes, let me break some bad news to you guys. We're not going to be able to win 11 games in a row the rest of the season. Like, there's just not that many games left. All we can do is go out and beat Chicago on Sunday. I was like, I mean, that's kind of smart, like kind of spin zone it. They are 12-2, and people are acting like the sky's falling for Detroit. Like, they still have their found. I think they would have been hurting more if they lost Gibbs than Montgomery.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's a different type of running back. I think the defense keeps getting depleted is the really scary thing.
They're
for them.
signing anyone they can off the street. It's
They don't
gonna
have any
the luck's gonna
linebackers.
run out for them.
Yeah, they don't have any linebackers. It's crazy to see how many injuries are decimating this team.
The NFC's so like wide open though. The Eagles obviously look like the best team. NFC obviously like Seattle, they just lost. Like
Redskins
the
are pretty good.
Rams, there's so many teams in that
Baker Mayfield, if he gets his
middle
shot
echelon
at,
of the.
I want some Baker Mayfield vengeance against these Lions last year because he gave them a good run for their money. I know that the Lions ended up covering and winning that game, but he already beat them once this year, and I would like to see that matchup again.
Yeah, that would be good. The next one, AFC North matchup. The two snooze fests in the AFC North. Obviously, the Bengals have at least been fun to watch, but the Browns. Is Jameis not playing in
No,
this
it's
game?
PTR this game already confirmed.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So the Browns are a 7.5-point road dog on or in Cincinnati, over under 47.5. Bengals money line minus 400. Browns at plus 310. I don't even have a play on this game. I'd lean on the Bengals here, but I don't like 7.5 in a divisional matchup. But the Browns are so bad, I'm not going to watch this game. I'm just not going to bet on it. I lean on the Bengals.
I'll tell you what, though. You're going to see a lot of this game in the red zone highlights, and it's going to be all Bengals. I was very low on this team, and I love chirping them. But now that everybody's down and out on the Bengals, I'll prop them up a little bit. Joe Burrow has been having a great season, like Mackey said. He called that one. The rest of the team, they just built a terrible roster, so it's not their fault they're losing all these games. Don't know how the defensive coordinator hasn't been canned yet either. Maybe they just know the defense is so bad on paper that you can't really expect much. But I expect to see a lot from Burrow, a lot from Chase. As Jamar Chase chases that, Jamar Chase chases. He chases that Offensive Player of the Year award. I think I see him going over 100 this week, maybe finding one or two. And Burrow's going to throw for 300 for sure. So if you're doing anything, Jeff, just go props to those guys. And you know who else has been a really bright spot for that Bengals team? A great find with Zach Moss going down is Chase Brown. I think he's automatic to get in the end zone almost every week now. So those three right there are going to have a great game once again. But outside of that, I can't really tell you too much about this.
Yeah, Bengals roll. I'm gonna say 30-13.
Yeah, and that'd be a lucky 13, huh?
Yeah. I don't know. Bengals defense isn't good, so we'll
Yes.
have to see. But it is DTR. But
TR.
this next game also not very exciting. Tennessee at Indianapolis. Indianapolis 3.5-point home favorite. Over under 42.5. Colts money line -190. Texans plus 150 or Titans plus 155.
It's going to be Mason Rudolph, right?
Yeah, this is Mason Rudolph here. I do think the Titans are a better team with him under center, obviously, than Levis. I'm not a Levis guy. He at least adds
Neither
like
is his
some
girlfriend
sort
that
of
went to the
stability.
game.
But give me the Colts here. I think Colts handle business at home. Are they technically still alive in the playoff
I
race?
think
Yeah,
out.
they're
out
everything
now.
but dead.
Yeah, I think they win. But this isn't an important game. I'm not too keen on this game.
They do have 3 very winnable games though: Titans, Giants, Jaguars.
Yeah, they need a lot of help. Maybe a tie on Thursday Night Football would go a long way.
No,
But
yeah, I guess you're right.
yeah, and then outside of that, I mean, it's just more development for Anthony Richardson here and getting on the same page. But it's going to be a boring game, probably a decent amount of
They
turnovers.
probably need the Chargers to lose tomorrow.
Yeah, because the Broncos.
No,
are
it's
close.
more Browns or not Browns, more Bengals because the Chargers have 2 very easy games coming up. Bengals got to play Broncos to play the Bengals and the Chiefs after this. They have 3 very losable games. That's the only way that the Bengals can get in is if
They win out and the
Broncos
Broncos
lose
don't
out,
lose out.
Bengals win out, and then it's the Dolphins and the Colts to both lose a game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, but this game is not interesting. So I think we're not going to bet on this one, and we probably won't be watching it too much.
Yeah, I agree. The next one, the NFC West leading Rams heading to New York to take on the Jets. Jets are a 3.5-point home dog here, over under 46.5. Jets money line plus 155, and the Rams -190. I'm going to take the Rams here to come into MetLife and handle business. I'm big on this Rams team. I said they were going to win this division. I'm gonna stand on that here. I'm gonna lay the 3.5 point with 3.5 points with LA. Give me the Rams come out on top here. I don't know what kind of game this is going to be, high scoring, low scoring. I just think the Jets aren't going to have enough for this Rams offense of Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. So give me the Rams skill players. Kyron, I love the Rams offense this week going to New York. Give me the Rams.
I hate that Rams defense though. I am so low on it, and that's going to be the turning point when they get to the playoffs if they get there. I think Aaron Rodgers has a good chance to put a little nail in that coffin of the Rams. Former divisional opponent, used to play against Matt Stafford a lot. So yeah, I like the Jets. You know who's been really turning it up lately is Devontae Adams, looking like his former self, going over 100, scoring touchdowns.
195 yards in the fourth quarter or in the second half on Sunday.
2 touchdowns as well. So he's really starting to come back to his own. Maybe he's trying to make his case for being a relevant top 10 receiver once again heading into the new season. We don't know where he'll be, where Aaron Rodgers will be, but I mean, they're starting to play better football. My favorite play here is going to be the over. I think all the big guys get in. Devontae Adams will get in. Garrett Wilson will have a solid day. And then on the other side of the ball, Puka, Cooper, and Kyron are going to be solid as well. I do like the Jets to get the upset win today, but you know I can't bet on them. They're on my no bet list ever since they lost a game early on for me. So I'm not going to take it, but give me the Jets here to win and the over. I think the Rams are a solid team, but that defense is going to keep selling them out, and Rodgers is going to have enough to be able to get it done with the weapons he has.
Yeah, I think big game meant Devontae Adams, but I can't take the Jets. They've been killing everyone all year. I know they covered a spread finally last week, but definitely not going to be betting on them. I do like that over. I think I'm probably going to tease it down, do a 2-leg teaser somewhere, but yeah, I'm not going to have a side in this game.
Only bright spot for that Rams defense is that rookie on the D line. I believe it's Kobe Turner. Maybe he's been turning it up lately, but other than that,
Headfirst too.
yeah, other than that, they don't really have too much. That D line's nice, but that secondary is so mid that I'm scared with the weapons that Rodgers has at his disposal this week.
The next one we have NFC East matchup: Philly heading to Washington. The Commanders are a 3.5-point home dog here. Over under 45.5. Commanders plus 150. Eagles minus 185 to win the game. I'm going to go with Philly to handle business here. I'll lay the 3.5. I don't think the Commanders have enough to hang with this Eagles team. It showed a couple of weeks ago, but I'm going to take Philly to come in and handle business here.
I mean, the Commanders have been waiting for this game. This is like the biggest game in how long for this Washington team? I mean, really, like a chance to get back at them after losing in Philly a few weeks ago. Um, I think this is going to be a lot closer than we expect. I like the Eagles on the money line here. I do think they're the better team. The Eagles are a really good roster, especially on paper and on the field. I think Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown put to bed the conversation of the divaness that we were hearing about AJ Brown and that relationship, whatever was going on there. He found the end zone as expected, squeaky wheel treatment. Saquon Barkley, we don't even have to touch on him. We've said enough about him all year long. Devontae Smith is solid. Defense starting to play better. But Jaden Daniels, man, he's got that it factor, and he's going to be able to keep this team in the mix. Terry McLaurin, nasty receiver, right up there just behind AJ Brown in the wide receiver rankings, in my opinion. So I expect more points than you would think. Normally, I think it could blow up kind of late. A first half under seems more suiting than a full game under. But I think the Eagles win this one, but it's going to be close. And don't give Jaden Daniels the ball with less than a minute left. He could steal that one from you.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Commanders on the money line. I think I saw plus 160. Um,
I like
good buy low spot after that pretty weak showing last week. I think Huff is a little. I think he's a little biased on that. On
Huff's been off the
fading
Jaden Daniels ever
Commanders here.
since he saw the
He took
Steelers
him
beat him in
last week and they
person.
screwed him. Did you see that play clock stop?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was weird though. That was rigged. Definitely rigged.
That is the definition of rigged. They stopped the clock for 4 seconds. They clocked the ball with 3 seconds.
Bench of the rat.
That was ridiculous. But I like the Commanders to keep it close. Second time these teams are meeting each other in Washington. Jalen Hurts, broken finger on his left hand. I know it's not his throwing hand, but it's definitely going to impact his play. And they got to drop one here. You can't go into the playoffs winning 13 straight. So this will be the one that they drop. I mean, the division's not up for grabs, so not much to worry about.
I
for those
immediately
Eagles.
thought the last time they lost that Jaden Daniels was going to beat the Eagles on his home turf when they met up again. I know I said I have the Eagles on the money line because it's hard to go against them right now. Don't know if I am as confident as you to put those Redskins, Commanders, whatever you want to call them, on the money line there, Mackie. But I love the juice on it. It's not a bad spot. Jaden Daniels, great quarterback, and good coaching staff there in Washington as well. They can definitely keep it close. And then, like I said, who knows when it comes down to the wire.
Yeah, our next matchup, not as exciting, with Arizona heading to Carolina. Carolina, 4.5-point home dog, over under 47. The Panthers plus 185 at home, and the Cardinals are minus 225 on the road. I lean on the Cardinals here. I don't really have a play. I don't like it that much to actually take something here.
Trey McBride's scoring a touchdown this week.
Yeah, he is. He is. I'm taking it. I'm putting it on the card.
I think I'm taking it too. I think I'm taking it too. Huff is not believing in it.
What is the juice on that, though?
It's got to be around plus 150 to plus 180.
Oh, dude, it's like not even worth it. Like he hasn't seen the end zone all season.
I mean, with the amount of targets he sees, it is worth it, though.
I mean, it literally has not happened yet. I like the Cardinals here too. Panthers are getting in line. I don't know.
You like a lot of points in this one? I do.
Yeah, I guess. I'm not gonna play on this except for
Bryce Young's been playing good football lately too.
He's plus 140. Oh my god. I might just take the plus 850 first.
Oh god, definitely not that.
Why not?
No, you can take both if you're going to take both though, so that way you're at least making juice if he does find it later.
Yeah, until I lose both of them.
Yeah, plus 140. I mean, not surprising though, the amount of targets he gets, and someone's like, he's got to get it at some point. But this Panthers team, they've showed they can put points on the board. That guy Coker coming back into the mix, he cut into the Thielen target share. He's going to make up for that drop at the end of the game against the Eagles. And I think that running game's going to get going. Bryce Young, though, he's looked like a good quarterback. Two of the smallest quarterbacks in the league going head to head here. Right? Am I right? I mean,
yeah,
probably are the two smallest.
Both number one picks too, right?
Yeah.
Kyler number one pick?
Yeah. No, he was first round.
First overall.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I don't think.
Because he went like sixth in baseball.
I was thinking about baseball. No, it was first round in baseball, but it wasn't first overall. It's
top 10 in baseball, single digit at least.
Yeah.
But
our next one here is a little. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good game. I expect McBride to get in for once. Connor's been really solid. He looked good last week too. He moves to 6. Then Marvin Harrison Jr. He looks like he gets better with every week. I don't know if you guys are seeing that too, but Buda Baker let's not overwrite him too. He just got that big extension over $50 million. I think it's $18 million a year. Much deserved. He's playing like a decoy. He's going to be in that conversation. He'll probably finish like between 5 and 10 because of the position he plays. But
Mhm.
he turned around that whole unit. It's been weak for years, and it's nice to see that team being valid again. And a win here this week puts them right back into that NFC West conversation.
Yeah, then another team in contention out there in the NFC West is hosting the Minnesota Vikings at Seattle. Seahawks are a 3-point home dog, over under 43.5. Seahawks money line plus 135, Vikings minus 160. Mackie, which way do you go here?
I like the Seahawks team. They didn't give me a good showing last week. It did throw me off a little bit, but I do think they get back on track. They're fighting for that division. It's a really close divisional race. They're out of a playoff spot right now. But I mean the Vikings on the other hand, they look really good as well. Not an easy place to go. Weather conditions could be a huge factor in this game.
Gino, I'll make the decision. I'm in the exact same spot as you. Gino being questionable in this game made the decision for me.
How bad was Sam Howell?
I think you're getting the Vikings at a discount here. I'd take the Vikings minus 3.
Hammer the Vikings for the
Full practice
you
Wednesday.
-3. Who cares? That guy's terrible. I'm writing him off. I know he's a
not
West Virginia
terrible.
Mountaineer. He is though.
That's a
He is.
crazy statement.
He's not going to win games against good quarterbacks. He's really not. And that team's not good enough to beat them with everybody else they have. I know JSN's looked really good and DK Metcalf draws coverage, but they're not beating this Minnesota Vikings team where Sam Darnold looks like Superman. Oh yeah, because he has Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, who are clicking at an all-time high. Aaron Jones and TJ Hawkinson are playing good football. They brought in Akers, who's a really nice back that gives spells. He found the end zone last week. And the coaching staff of Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores is on fire this year. The Vikings are winning this game, and they're pressing the Lions for this division.
My plays in this one might be exactly what I did last week. Take the JSN receiving prop and Jettas and Addison.
Yeah, I mean, they get the ball so much. How can you? All three of them are target hogs. They get the ball so much. JSN really big breakout year. This is everything that was expected last year. But he went into a crowded wide receiver room. He gets to learn from some of the best in Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf too. They draw coverage for him. They scheme the ball to him well. But I'm taking the Vikings here. I don't think they're going to have an answer for the two J's on the outside and then the help with Hawkinson and Jones. And Darnold continues his strong year as he's playing for that contract to start somewhere else next season.
Absolutely. Our next one, AFC East matchup. Bills are hosting your Patriots. Bills are a 14-point favorite, over under 46.5. Bills money line is minus 1,000. Patriots plus 650. Is there any chance your Patriots hang around on Sunday?
There's a chance they can make it like respectable, but they're not winning this game. I mean, I'm not taking a spread on either side on this one. 14, way too much for a pro football team to cover. Even though we saw
last week with Baltimore. Yeah. I said I like the 16. I'm going to do it here with Buffalo. I'll take a minus 14 here. I think this one could get out of hand.
Yeah, we've seen some crazy spreads, but I think Drake May is able to put points on the board. That's what he does. It's crazy because the Patriots have one of the worst rosters in the NFL over the last few years, but Drake May single-handedly keeps putting points on the board and makes the offense watchable. Whether it's him running it in or throwing it, he's the real deal, and he's going to at least put up 2 touchdowns this week, whether it be himself or dishing out to other guys. I think they can put up 14, and the way that Patriots defense is playing, it's been brutal. I think this might be nice if we do give up a large number here and lose that 14-point spread to kind of get Gerard Mayo out of there, because I just really don't think he's the answer. And I don't want to waste this Drake May development, even though Van Pelt's doing a good job with him. Give me the over here. If you want to tease it down, you can get 39.5. That's a really nice number too. I think both teams are going to score touchdowns. I think the Bills will probably put up 4 or 5. I think the Patriots will put up a minimum of 2. So that's definitely going to hit us the over there. That's going to be my favorite play this week. Drake May is going to keep throwing for big air yards, and Josh Allen's going to keep pushing for that MVP.
Yeah, stupid spread. Give me the Bills minus 14. Capo Caco just got fucking traded to the Kraken.
For what?
Borgen. Who the fuck is Borgen? Will Borgen?
I've heard of him. I think he's young.
You guys should have gave us him for Gensel last year.
Don't open your mouth, boys. That goes to show you. Capo Caco runs his mouth one time and he hits the door. Go play for the
I hope he goes off, dude. I hope he does. I hope he scores 4 goals the next time we play them.
Remember when they wouldn't give us him for Gensel?
No, I don't think Penguins would have taken that.
That's what the Penguins wanted.
I've never seen a franchise fucking flip this quick. This is like the most hard thing to watch of my life.
But this next game it is the worst game on the slate. Jags at Raiders. Raiders -1, -115 on the money line.
Vegas doesn't even know what's going on in this one with the -1 spread.
Yeah, I have nothing to say about this game. Brian
Desmond
Thomas is a stud for the Jaguars. I love watching him play. I hate that they have Mac Jones at quarterback.
How crazy is it that he can put up these numbers even with Mac Jones? That shows you how good Brian Thomas is.
He's elite. He's very good.
I saw a good post the other day too. When's the last time we saw a wide receiver that runs under a 4.35 be this good in the NFL with that good of hands and be a complete receiver? I don't think we've seen that in a while.
He's special. I'd maybe say the Jaguars here. I can't take the Raiders with Desmond Ritter under center. I don't even
Remember
know
the last time Mac Jones played the Raiders though?
I do remember that. I had the Raiders in that game. I was going crazy. Mackie, we were together for that.
Kobe
You remember that?
Myers. Yeah, of
Roger
course.
Stevenson, Mac Jones getting put to the turf by Chandler Jones. I mean, but Mac Jones is hitting spinorama runs and hitting the Riz face, so he's at an all-time high. Big Cat said it best. He has the most swag for a bad
Well, he
quarterback.
said Big Cat said he's the cockiest bad quarterback in NFL history.
He's got to be. I mean,
It's not swag. It's definitely not swag.
it's that white boy swag. You know the picture of him being all fat with a cigar in his mouth? That's Alabama. Yeah, I mean that's vintage Mac Jones. But he's what now? Is he 2-1 as a starter for the Jaguars?
Yeah, he's got 4 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. That's just enough.
I don't know. We'll talk about this game way longer than I
Brian
thought.
Thomas
Does anyone
Jr.
have a play on this one?
Brian
Jags
Thomas
money line.
Jr. yards over.
Yeah, I lean Jacksonville as well. The next one, 49ers at Miami. Miami also a 1-point favorite, -120 on the money line, over under at 44.5. I lean on Miami here. I think this 49ers team is dead in the water.
You're going teacher. You're going student over the teacher.
I like the Dolphins here. They handle business at home. I'm going to take them on the money line -120. I think this offense for the Dolphins gets going here. I think the 49ers have looked terrible the past few weeks. I called this demise, and I think they're going to be 6-9 going into Week 17.
I'll tell you what, though, their defense has been on fire. Similar to that Cowboys team where it looks like they're dead in the water, their defense has been playing great football. They got Dre Greenlaw back for the first time in over a year, so that was really nice to see. It was pretty funny watching, what's his name, quit in the middle of the game, that linebacker there for the 49ers. Right? You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean,
The whole team just trashed him.
yeah, he lost snaps to Dre Greenlaw, as he should, because Dre Greenlaw is elite. And it's like, oh, I'm not playing anymore. All right, buddy, take a hike. How about that? But other than that,
I liked what the 49ers did instead of cutting him. They suspended him from the team, so he can't just get cut and go get signed by a playoff team.
yeah, that's actually fire. That's actually a fire play because he's a pretty good.
They're like,
linebacker.
you're not leaving. You're just not working. Like, fuck you. Go sit at home.
And I'll tell you what, though, if I'm going with one thing here, I think it might be a nail in the Mike McDaniel coffin. I think his time might be up at Miami. He's had enough looks with this roster, and he hasn't really turned it into much.
Whoa.
I don't think they pulled the plug.
No
No
way.
shot.
And with Tua, they're good. They
Yeah,
have a
dude,
winning record with Tua.
Are they
this
good
year.
though?
They need a full
good,
season
though.
with Tua.
Will they ever get that?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, you can't. I mean, you
He
can't.
has
judge
that
him off
excuse
What about the
like
record? What about the record against really good teams too? He doesn't win in the cold when it matters. He doesn't win against good teams. They don't win on the road. I mean, what are you really doing then? When your team's at its optimal performance, all you can
It's
do
the Miami
is win.
Dolphins. They haven't won a playoff game since what, the 90s?
Yeah, and I think at some point you got to pull the plug on the coaching staff and really figure out a guy that's going to get the team to
Go talk to Jerry Jones then.
I mean, that's a whole different story. But I think Mike McDaniel's a good coach. He'll find a job somewhere else, but I just don't think Miami's it for him. And I think Kyle Shanahan, McDaniel.
He needs to just go back to being an offensive coordinator, I think.
Yeah, I think so
No,
too.
he's a head coach.
I think he is too, Mackie. But like, think
think
about
he could
how
use a
much
few
better
years
he
of
would be without
seasoning?
the cameras on him, without the interviews. He's the offensive coordinator that just flies under the seat. Like, no one's really. The head coach does all the interviews.
Barry,
Yeah, exactly.
go let him coach the next up. Go let him coach. Honestly, you know where it'd be a really good fit for him might be those Chicago Bears with Caleb Williams. I think with all that offensive potential they have up there, that might be it. But I think one more take on this game. I'm going to take the Niners again. Been riding with them for years. I might as well again. I think the teacher beats the student here. Give me Shanahan over McDaniel.
Next game, Sunday Night Football, Tampa Bay at Dallas. Dallas 4-point home dog here, over under 48.5. Cowboys money line +170, Bucks -210. I don't like the spread. I just think the Bucks get the job done and lock up that NFC South.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield's too much swag right now. Michael Parsons is going to be all over him. I mean, that guy's
Cowboys been
on
playing
his thing.
good.
Yeah,
Cowboys
the
do look good.
defense. The defense has
do.
been playing really
The
well.
offense looks good too. Cooper Rush playing better than Dak was all season.
Mackie,
But
I just want you to be full in on you want them to lose because like they're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, he has been.
I've been locked
yeah.
in on them losing for the last
No, I know.
four,
That's what I'm saying.
4
And like they're
weeks.
playing themselves out of a good pick. They win this game, they're 7-8.
Yeah, and, knowing them, they'll fucking sneak into a playoff spot and lose by 35 in the first round.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
I want that
yeah,
to
I'm
happen.
rooting against them for sure. But this should be a pretty good game. I think they're playing really good football and they're playing for pride, which more than anything right now. But
A lot of pride down there in Dallas.
yeah, I mean I think they're just kind of trying to show people that like they'll be back next year. But
I think
um,
I think that's exactly what they're doing, Mackie, is the Michael Parsons, like, we're not quitting. I do like that mentality. I know it really hurts your capital, and as a fan, you would like to do the right thing and get the better pick. But,
but they're
I
not
mean,
bad enough. Like they already have 6 wins. Like how much better of a draft pick are you
yeah,
gonna get?
you're picking between 9 and 16,
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
just not even like worth it at this point.
Yeah, I hope they get Ashton Genty. I hope he ends up going home to Dallas or he goes to San Francisco. I think he'll eat there. But Michael Parsons has been on a tear, like we said, and two really good franchises going head to head here on Sunday Night Football. Should be pretty amped up. But I don't think Cooper Rush can keep up with Baker Mayfield. What he's been doing this year and the amount of points he puts up week in and week out. Give me the Bucks here. And you know what you can see on my card again is the Mike Evans receiving prop because he's Mike Evans, ME1K, whatever they call him. He's going to get over 1,000 yards. He's going to find the end zone again this week. Uncoverable. And if they get into the playoffs, he's going to be a problem along with Baker
I agree. I think he scores this week as well. But we'll jump to Monday Night Football. New Orleans at Green Bay. Green Bay is a 14.5-point favorite. Over under 42. Packers money line minus 1,000. Saints at plus 650. So I did lie saying the Bills is the biggest spread of the week. I did not see this at 14.5.
They don't know who's playing quarterback. That's why.
Yeah, if it's Hayner, I
Hayner.
mean, slam the Packers.
It won't be Hayner. If it's not Carr, it's going to be Rattler.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Saints are going to struggle on offense. I'd maybe take the under, but the Packers could score a lot of points. I'd lean with the Packers in the under.
Yeah, look for Josh Jacobs to go nuclear like he loves to do against these bad teams. I mean, how great have these running back signees been from free agency? The big three, Henry, Barkley, and Jacobs, have been going nuclear all season long. They're top rushers. They get in the end zone, and their teams are in prime playoff spots too. I think this Packers team is one that you really, really have to watch out for in the NFC. They're going to be a wild card team, I think, no matter what. But you do not want to see them in the first round if you're one of the top dogs.
Yeah, I agree.
Matt LaFleur, great coach.
I don't really have a play on this one.
Player.
I'll go with the under.
You take Josh Jacobs to get in the end zone, Mackie. Guy does it every week.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he does
It's
it again,
safe.
too. And what about Tucker Kraft? Huff? Gotta give another shout out to your boy. I mean, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, they've been great. Josh
Reed's
Jacobs
been
been
shit in
great.
the bed the past few weeks.
Yeah, but he's still a really good player, and he's dynamite. He's one of those. He's like a Debo type player. It's like they're not consistent. They're just gadget players that have
And he's good.
explosiveness with the ball in their hands.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's going to do it for our Week 16 slate. A couple things to touch on the MLB. Like I said, Yankees acquired Cody Bellinger in a trade from the Cubs, Devin Williams from the Brewers, and then obviously Max Fried in free agency. Mackie, were you worried about your crosstown rival over there after getting Soto? Do you think those are three obviously very good additions after losing the Soto sweepstakes? Or do you think that the loss of Juan Soto will be a little too much?
Yeah, great ad of Devin Williams, who Pete Alonso hit a 3-run home run on the top of the ninth. I love to see that. No, I'm kidding. Devin Williams is a very good closer, but yeah, they're making their moves. They had the money to spend. They obviously were willing to spend $730 on Soto, so now they're getting Fried, Williams, and
Belly, I don't know if Belly is like
Bellinger.
the right answer though. He's so streaky.
He's so young, dude, and he has so much potential. I think it's a
The
great move by
potential's
them.
there.
And
He
he
just doesn't seem like a Yankee.
wants to be in New York too. So maybe he'll play a little better now. I don't love it. It's not
He
a
stepped up
great
in the Dodgers moment with lineup protection.
Yeah, it's not a great ad, but it's definitely not a bad ad.
What about the storyline of him? He's dating or married to
Giancarlo
hi-
Stanton's ex.
Yeah,
I saw something. It was like that guy looks a lot like my wife's ex, Mike.
yeah,
His name used to be Mike.
yeah. Yeah, that'll be an interesting storyline to follow. I think Fried's a great ad, though. You got that righty lefty at the top of the rotation now with Cole and Fried. I mean, I still don't think they'll be able to get over there.
That's the best 1-2 punch in baseball, no?
I
What?
mean, I think you might give it to the Dodgers. They have the best
Oh.
like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 punch.
Okay,
Ohtani,
1-2.
Ohtani and Yamamoto.
No, I'm taking Fried and Cole over them.
We'll see.
You don't think
You
so?
I don't think you can I don't think you can leave Ohtani up there with after not pitching last year.
Yeah, and the amount of the other arms they have too, though. I mean, that rotation
But
Freed
even
also
so, I
coming
mean,
off
you're
an injury,
taking Freed over Yamamoto. You're
Oh,
taking Cole over
You
Yamamoto.
meet
Yeah.
Paul Skeens, Jared Jones over the two
Jared
of them.
Jones won't be a Pittsburgh Pirate.
I
by the
know,
time
that's
the
sad.
season
Yeah,
starts.
I don't even want to talk about them. Neither will Paul Skeens at that. But yeah, last thing, got to touch on this. Scotty continues winning in 2024. Scotty and Rory took down
Crypto 10
Bryson
mil.
and Brooks in the showdown on Tuesday evening in Las Vegas. I think it was Shadow Creek they played at. I was watching that today. I did not get to watch it live last night. I was at the Penguin game, but Scheffler and Rory were on. Did either of you watch that?
No, I just saw the highlights of them getting their cryptocurrency 10 mil.
Yeah, they're 10 million in cryptocurrency. It was cool because like obviously Scotty's kind of like a pretty private guy. You don't see a lot of him do interviews and stuff like that. So I like to see him kind of with the mic up while he's playing, what he's talking about with. I like his caddy Ted. I think it's Ted Scott, but that was pretty cool to watch. They absolutely whooped them. There was basically Ryder Cup style. The first 6 holes were best ball. Second 6 were single alternate shot, and then the last 6 were singles. And when I came upstairs, it wasn't over yet, but they won the first 2 sets of 6 holes, and you needed 2.5 points. So they just kind of dominated it. But yeah, it was a pretty cool event. The dumbest part was half of it was played at night, like in the dark. Did you guys see them like literally playing and it was pitch black out?
Yeah. Why'd they do it at that time? I don't get it.
I have no clue.
guess it's
They're
a
playing in
weekday,
Las
they wanted
Vegas.
the
Why wouldn't you
viewership.
just tee
The
off
course
at
was,
noon?
course was booked up for all the local seniors.
It's just a weekday, and they wanted the viewership, but they couldn't do it during like work hours.
They
But
should have just taped it. They should just pre-taped it.
come on,
Like it doesn't actually have to be live
do it on a
TV.
Saturday. Why not just do it on a Saturday?
Yeah, make them tee
Dominated
off
by
on
other
Saturday
sports.
morning at 10
But
a.m.
they
just
also,
like
they
normal
also
people
know
go.
that's the only time you're watching it, though, because every other sport right now is dominating every other day.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
wouldn't compete with the college football
I
playoff
guess,
right
yeah.
now.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I guess there was no winning there.
But yeah, that's going to do it. Week 16 in the NFL coming up. Obviously, we got our live stream on Sunday. Make sure you're staying tuned for that. We're flying through this NFL season. Just 3 weeks to go before playoffs. Make sure you're staying tuned to our social media. We'll get all of our plays out there for the NHL, NBA. College basketball has been on fire lately. Like we said, our first losing day in a while. Looking to get back on the winning side there. But NFL plays obviously on Thursday, Sunday, and Monday, and Saturday this week. I guess we have 2 Saturday games. But yeah, make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe. We appreciate it. And thanks for listening. And we'll see you guys on Sunday for the live stream.